Now let's talk a little bit about the features that it has, right?
Hmm.
Something that I noticed about your group is that you have, when somebody posts, I believe it's every community, but if somebody posts, you have to click and put a category.
Hmm.
So a category could be like a regular discussion or a Q&A, or, I think you have your inner circle group as well. So people need to put a category in order for them to post something. And what it does is categorizes in a separate folder, basically, right? When the questions go through. I think you have all your folder with everything, and then you have the regular categories, hashtags, for example, wins, stuff like that, right?
Yeah. So anything will come up on the general discussion, but you're right. You have to select a category when you're posting, which I think is great because it forces folks to categorize it properly or with relevance to the post that they're creating. So what that does from a community organizer or moderator standpoint is makes things easier. Like you can get in your zone where it's like, hey, I'm answering questions now. Hey, I'm talking strategy now. You can create as a group creator, you can create as many categories as you want, and they sit along the top. But the other cool thing is anything that's posted does go into the general discussion. So if someone has a question, they can put it under the Q&A. I know, hey, that's exactly what we have here. We have a question that needs to be answered, but it'll also show up for everybody. So if they're not actively searching for Q&A, they can be like, oh, I had that question too. I'm glad it was shown to me. So that does
Exactly.
make it helpful. And from a community management standpoint, I think it makes it a lot easier. The other thing I really like about it, which is a cool feature, I guess, is it's really good about showing you what actions have been taken since you, as the moderator, last logged in. For example, that was kind of my big issue with Facebook is if I log in and just hit my notifications tabs, it's like who liked this post, who commented on this reel, and it was just all kind of clumped together under one notifications tab. Whereas the school community, it's just the community, so there's not all this other distracting information there as well. It's like, okay, cool. Since I last logged in, these 3 posts were liked, these 2 comments were left, and this one question was asked. And it's really easy for me to go through and just keep up to date. I only have to log in, 2 or 3 times a day, and everything's right there. Oh, there's 7 things I need to attend to. Knock those out, and I know the community's up to date because that's a big aspect of keeping a community fresh and going is making sure everything gets attended to, right?
Right. And that community notification is just for you, right? For the course, for like the community creator, right? Because I haven't really seen that feature, to be honest,
Yeah.
as a
So if I
member.
log in there into my community, there's a little bell on the top right, and it'll say, hey, this post was liked, and it's all in chronological order. 2 hours ago, this post was
Mm,
liked. 3 hours ago, this comment was left. 4 hours ago, this was said. And then I can basically
okay.
uncheck everything as I address it. And then everything's cleared out. My notifications are cleared out, just like deleting your email or getting rid of your text message. It's like, okay, cool. I'm back down to zero. Now I know I can log out. And the next time I log back in, I'll have all my tasks really organized in chronological order. So it makes it a lot easier.
Yeah, that's super interesting because it keeps you more organized. Especially at least for Facebook groups, you get not every notification. You get me? First of all, it's not categorized. Somebody might comment on somewhere, but you won't see it, because Facebook doesn't notify the admin or the moderator. Maybe some posts, but not every single post. So every day I find myself scrolling through my feed on my Facebook group just to see what's going on because I don't really see every single thing that is being communicated or posted on the group. And I guess that's why you need moderators, you need admins, you need people helping you, especially with the community. And I think that's what makes it hard when you build a community, right?
Yeah, because that's it. I mean, if you build a community and then leave things unattended to, you're probably actually doing more harm than good. Because here they're making the effort and you're ignoring them, not intentionally, but that's happened to me before where it's like someone will come into my inner circle and be like, hey, I left this in the Facebook group. I haven't heard a response. It's like, I'm sorry, it wasn't intentional. It's just I never saw it. And
Exactly.
you can see how you can create that. I don't want to say animosity, but there's kind of a negative feeling associated with that where it's like, oh man, I really dropped the ball on that one. So
It's like, I mean, put it this way, people don't like being ignored. You
yes.
get me? they hate being ignored. You know, if you want to ask a question and you don't get an answer, then it's just like fuck this shit. You know,
Yeah.
like you're like you wanna just not do anything. Another cool thing that I saw also is that you can have like classrooms where you can also pull like a course. So in a sense, it will be like a guide from Facebook, but in school you can actually put like a full course in it. And I don't know, is that like something like to link up a whole like, training or like a whole, 5-day challenge or whatever, you can just build everything in one single platform, it's interesting that part that, and I just learned it like literally before this interview, before
Yeah.
this episode.
And that's the thing. I mean,